Well, hello there, and welcome to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. I'm Debbie Georgiani with Jerry Usher, and hopefully you, because we want to hear where you are from. That place that you were born and you were raised. A lot of us we were raised in a different state in the union, and then we moved after like college or to get married or to take a job, and we've never forgotten our roots. Right? We were raised in a certain area of the country or the world, and let's talk about it. So, where are you from? We're celebrating your original home today, Jerry, and I'm excited about that because I've got a lot to share about the great state of New Jersey.
We know how much you loved being in New Jersey, and you still love that state. So I look forward to hearing that. I will share a little bit about where I am from. Again, we want to hear Take Two family. Where are you from? Why did you leave? Why did you move away? Did you move back? What are some of the positive, beautiful characteristics of where you're originally from? 833-288 EWTN, 833-288-3986.
Today is the feast day of two incredible saints, the parents of our Blessed Mother, Saint Anne and Saint Joachim. And I will tell you, I love this feast day because my middle name is Anne. So if your name is Anne or your middle name is Anne, you should love July 26th for Saint Anne and Saint Joachim. So it's pronounced, I mean, his name is always difficult to pronounce. How do you pronounce it?
Joachim is usually how
Joachim?
I do it, yeah.
Okay. I've heard it so many ways. A lot of priests even pronounce it a different way. But yeah, I love this feast day. Grandparents, you should love this feast day as well. The parents of our Blessed Mother. So amazing. But Jerry, you know what? I think I've forgotten I know where you were raised, but what state were you actually born in?
I was born in the state of Washington.
Oh, you were not. Why did I think Oregon? Because you always talk about Oregon.
I lived more of my life not exactly. I lived more of my life in Portland, Oregon, than I did in the town where I grew up. And the town where I grew up was not the town where I was born. So.
Okay. So what town were you born in? Like what town?
Seattle. I was born in Seattle, Washington, and kind of grew up after about the age of 7 until graduating from high school in a very small town called Copalis Beach, Washington, on the coast, obviously. Okay. A town of about 500 people. Everyone knew everyone. But, I think I shared a sentiment with a lot of people. I couldn't wait to get out of there.
Really? Because it was too small?
Yeah, it was small. And, I left to go to broadcasting school and never went back to live. I had been back to visit. And you know how things change so much, especially if you grew up in a small town. So Take Two family, what about you? Talk to us today about where you were born. Maybe you've jumped around quite a bit. Maybe you consider your hometown to be somewhere other than where you were actually born because you moved there shortly after you were born.
Right.
833-288-3986.
That's kind of like what happened to Marty, my husband. He was born in Camillus, New York, upstate New York, but he left when he was, I think, like a kindergartner. I mean, he was so young, and he moved across the country to Arizona with his 4 siblings and his dad, and so he's been in Arizona for 50 plus years, and so Arizona really is his home. If you ask him if he wants to move back to New York or anywhere else, he says, no, why would I leave Arizona? Arizona truly is his home. But I grew up in New Jersey till I was 18, Jerry, and I remember it vividly. And plus, I still have all my friends from when I was growing up from Catholic school and also when I attended public high school. So it keeps me connected, so much so that even on Facebook, I even joined the group of living in the Caldwells because I grew up in Caldwell, New Jersey. So I always hear what's going on, like where I used to live or where I used to walk to school or something like that. So it's kind of cool. I feel like I'm still sort of there. Miss the food terribly. The food in New Jersey was amazing, and I know from Gigi, who's our coordinator for our ministry, Inspired by Faith Fellowship Club, and ministry team leader, she informs me all the time that the food hasn't changed. It's only gotten better. I think she's trying to have me come back to New Jersey.
It sounds like it. Yeah, I was just going
Yeah.
to say that. Yeah.
So
Well,
how about you? Did you have a unique food in your area?
yeah, actually, the razor clams. We went razor clam digging.
Nice.
Have you ever had razor clams?
No, is it? Are
Yeah,
they good?
they're delicious. Yeah, you bread
Okay.
them and fry them. You can put them in clam fritters, clam chowder, all kinds of great stuff. Yeah, so I was pretty spoiled on that. So
Very
we
nice.
didn't realize. It's become a real delicacy. I mean, if you go to restaurants anywhere in the country, fine restaurants, you can get them sometimes, but they're really expensive. So
Interesting. You know what's interesting too about what we just shared, where we were born and raised? We grew up on opposite ends of the country.
literally couldn't be
Yeah.
much further away apart
Yeah,
from each
that
other.
that is interesting. And we kind of like the same food though, which is kind of cool too, because you like all the hot sauces, and so do I. So that's really interesting. So take two family. Now it's your turn. Where are you from? Let's celebrate your place of birth and where you grew up. Maybe you're still living there and you would never, ever move away. Why? We want to know. Do you have family there? We like the details, not because we're nosy, because we're curious in a great way, because that is the mystical body of Christ. So fill up the phone lines. Let's do shout outs from where you live in any part of the world, because this is a worldwide platform, and start calling in. Matt Gabinski would love to receive your call and hear where you're from. Maybe talk about a unique cuisine that is part of your area of the country. That would be wonderful. Or something unique about just living there. So like, I know that some people they're constantly dealing with hurricanes and tornadoes. Let's talk about it. 833-288-3986.
Yeah, well, let's put it this way. If you hear our voices, you have a place you're from. We all do. And we would love to actually, like Debbie said, if you want to just kind of give a shout out to your hometown, what's great about it, maybe why you left. I was going to say also, like Debbie did, maybe you've stayed in the same place your whole life. This ties into our faith because God calls us to different places at different times, and we try and follow his voice and his will. And so we'd love to hear where you are originally from and a little something about it. 833-288-EWTN, 833-288-3986.
Faith is a precious gift from God. As the largest religious media network in the world, EWTN has an important role in educating others about our Catholic faith and spreading the good news of salvation. We invite you to explore our numerous pages of historical faith documents, prayers, teachings, and other current issues in Catholicism today. Visit EWTN.com and click Catholicism. EWTN, the Global Catholic Network.
Want to be notified when Take Two with Jerry and Debbie goes live on Facebook? Follow EWTN Radio's Facebook page and click the bell icon to be notified.
He is honored as an English monk, priest, scholar, and doctor of the Church.
Matthew Bunson and the Doctors of the Church.
St. Bede spent almost his entire life in a monastery. He earned the title Father of English History for his masterpiece, Ecclesiastical History of the English People. Called the Venerable for his vast wisdom and holiness, he is the only English-born doctor of the Church. He died in 735 and was named a doctor in 1899.
To find out more, visit EWTN.com and click on Catholicism.
This is Anna Mitchell. Get a Catholic view on everything you need to start your day with the Sunrise Morning Show. Tomorrow morning, 6 Eastern on EWTN Radio.
You're listening to EWTN Radio.
We need you to call us and tell us where you are from, and maybe brag a little bit about the area of the country or the world that you grew up in or you're still living in. We'd love to hear from you. 833-288-3986. You don't have to be Catholic to call in. If you're listening, you are part of the Take Two family. So call in. This is a wonderful, safe platform, a friendly place for you to call in, and we share with the entire world, and we learn and we grow together. Oh, it's very exciting every time we do Take Two. Okay, so before we go to the phones, Jerry, let me just share with our listeners, EWTN Vatican Bureau, from Rome to your home. talking about home today. With news from EWTN's Vatican Bureau, you can watch all of the important events from Rome, even if you don't have TV access. Using the latest technology, we've made it possible to watch the latest news from the Holy See, all delivered directly to your home via live streams. So you can get it right to your home with these live streams. Watch live on EWTN YouTube and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And Jerry, real quickly, I just wanted to say something about, I said, give us something unique about where you grew up. In New Jersey, I grew up in West Caldwell, and it was part of the Caldwells. There was North Caldwell, Caldwell, and West Caldwell. A very kind of small, very compact area to grow up in Essex County. We're known for a few things, like Connie Francis, who lived right up the street. Somebody very famous to all of us here at EWTN, Father Benedict Rochelle. Went to school right in the Caldwells. And it's the birthplace of our president, 22nd and 24th president, Grover Cleveland. It was in the birthplace of Caldwell, New Jersey. So that's what we're famous for. Now, if you want to talk about contemporary stuff, what we're also famous for is, do you remember the TV show series, The Sopranos? Mm-hmm. Well, that house was not too far away from where I grew up.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Isn't Bruce Springsteen from New Jersey?
Yes, yeah, and Bon Jovi and John Bon Jovi. I mean, so many. In fact, a lot of music professionals and theater and actors live in New Jersey.
Yeah, and
they commute to the city.
Billy Joel from New
Billy
Jersey.
Joel, that's right. I mean, so many. It's a really, like what Frank Sinatra was from Hoboken, New Jersey, I believe. Mm-hmm. I mean, so many. And it's really the best kept secret, I think. Unfortunately, it gets a bad rap sometimes. They'll say, what exit are you from and stuff like that. It's a very densely populated state, very high taxes, and stuff like that. But I have to tell you, it's rich with culture. It's just amazing. You never really want for anything when you live in New Jersey or New York. It's pretty unique.
The reason I asked about Bruce Springsteen is because, as is often the case, I know you and I both, as we head up towards certain shows, things are going through our minds about the show and topic and points of discussion and so forth. And I wake up every morning singing a different song in my head. And the other day, it was My Hometown was the song that was in my head. And that's kind of a sad song, about how, things change. That's what I was talking about earlier. Yeah. So, folks, maybe your hometown is just not even anything like what you knew when you were growing up. Join the conversation where a Take Two family and families and friends get acquainted by sharing information such as your family information, where you're from, what you like to do, and stuff like that. So 833-288-3986.
Okay, so we'll go to Janine, and Janine's in Utah. Oh, I love flying into Salt Lake City, Janine. And Janine's on Sirius XM 130 is the way she's listening. Welcome to Take Two.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. So, I am commuting right now on the freeway listening to you on Sirius XM, and it is a beautiful day here, but too hot.
I'll bet, yeah.
I love everything about Utah but the climate. The people are fantastic. The outdoor recreation here is second to none. I mean, if you're a skier, we have the greatest snow on earth, but that's not where it stops. We've got, the amazing 4 national parks here, especially in southern Utah, is where a lot of people, come and visit Utah and get to know Utah. I live north of Salt Lake, and it's so clean, and the people are so friendly. I've been here for 30 years. And interestingly, talking about Oregon, I grew up in Eugene, Oregon.
Oh, really?
Went there through grade school, and then we moved to Boise, Idaho, so I went through junior high and college in Boise. Didn't care for Boise after Eugene. It's very dry, pretty barren, and the people weren't the friendliest. And in a job transfer with my husband almost 30 years ago, came down to the area north of Salt Lake City, it's West Haven, Utah. And it's fantastic. The only thing that keeps me here is the people, though, because I don't like the heat in the summer and I don't like the cold in the winter. But the people are fantastic, and it's so clean.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, I drove up to St. George, Utah one time, and I know that's not not really deep into Utah if you're coming from the south. But Janine, one thing that really struck me was, you have the highways sometimes will run through these, I don't know what to call them. You have these red rock, mountains on either side. You can see them from everywhere that you're going. And I just thought that was absolutely the most beautiful thing in the world. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. I can't find the words to say what I'm trying to describe, but
It is. So have you been to, any of the national parks down there? Arches, Canyonlands,
I
Bryce?
have not, no, huh?
Oh, my gosh. They're unreal. Now, they're being loved to death, so you'll want to come off-season. They're not a secret anymore. But they're like no place on earth. My 15-year-old son, his favorite place on earth is to go down to southern Utah. Again, way too hot in the summer. You're much better off if you can go when it's early spring or late fall, even though it's a little cold then. You'll have the parks to yourself. And it's just the most amazing formations and scenery you'll ever see. I don't even feel like I'm on planet Earth when I'm there.
Wow.
It's incredible. If you can at least look up images and videos, and you'll get a grasp. It's not like being there in person.
Sure.
But they're absolutely incredible. He'd like to go into that field for his work, so it'd be interesting to see if he ends up in the national parks.
Very cool. Janine, I have to tell you, I don't know how often you listen to Take Two, but my godchild and my very close friend Debbie, who I talk about frequently on the show, they lived in Park City, Utah for many years. And it was absolutely gorgeous. Everywhere you turned, even if you went out to her backyard and turned, did a 360, it was so majestic, so amazing, and she had the ski slopes right to the right of her. She had the beautiful mountains to the left. I mean, it was unbelievable. I can't even describe it. It was a little slice of heaven. Is that what you were referring to? That like the Park City area?
So I have friends that live in the Park City area, but honestly, pretty much wherever you live in this 100-mile stretch from, say, Ogden to Provo is unbelievable. That's what I say. After being here even 30 years, I never get tired of the view. Every single day when I wake up, look out the back windows, these mountains here. I face Snow Basin that's in the Ogden area, which is a ski hill they used in the Olympics. It's stunning. It doesn't matter what time of year it is, and every single day the sunrises are different, sunsets are different. This is what I missed in Boise. Eugene, I absolutely loved. I moved back to Eugene in a heartbeat, but nobody else in my family appreciated the rain. So that's out of the question. So I'll settle for the less than ideal climate here, but visually it's stunning. This whole Wasatch Front mountain range, no matter where you live, you have beautiful views.
Wow.
Awesome. Wow, that's incredible. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Amazing.
blessed, Janine. Very blessed. Thanks for sharing today. We really appreciate that. Be safe out there as you're traveling today. We appreciate you joining us here on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie, talking about your hometown. Where are you from? Would you go back there? Have you gone back there? Any sort of angle on this that you want to take? 833-288-3986.
Okay, Maura is up next from New Jersey.
In New Jersey, yay.
Yeah, Sirius XM 130. Yay. Hi, Maura. How are you? Where are you from?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm from New Jersey. I'm from Holmesdale. I want to give a shout out to St. Benedict Parish in the Diocese of Trenton. It's our home. I love it. I grew up in Colorado. Well, I grew up in a northern, north of where we're living now. But I was born in Colorado Springs. My parents moved when I was 5 to upstate New York outside of Rochester. And then we moved to New Jersey to Union County, Cranford, in the mid-'80s. And for the last 20 years of my marriage, I've been living here in Holmesdale, and I now have 4 children. And we've stayed put and been able to put really deep roots in our parish. And I'm so blessed. I have faithful Catholic parents that raised me to teach me the importance of our parish family life, because it's really your family. And my children, I've seen the fruit of that. My daughter's 15 now, and she's starting to think about college. And she's like, I'm not moving outside of the tri-state area because I love their pizza.
Right.
And I can't imagine life without Jersey pizza and New York pizza. So
yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
My mouth is watering.
Yeah, and we have all 4 seasons. I know, right? Come out here and speak, and we'll come hear you. And we have all 4 seasons in New Jersey. I really feel like it's the best state. My husband and I have been able to visit. We went to Arches with our daughter when she was a year and a half old, and we really look forward in the next 2 years to taking them out west again to see our beautiful country. And living in New Jersey, it is very expensive. It gets a bad rap for that, but I really feel like it's because we have the best climate. You get winter, summer, spring, and fall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it gets hot and muggy in the summer, and you get snow in the winter, but it's livable. And you have the culture of the cities of Philadelphia and New York. It's just a great place to grow up and raise a family. And even though, like, politically things can kind of get crazy up here in the Northeast, I truly believe, like, you bloom where you're planted. And I'm just so grateful to be here and raise my family here. And
Yeah. Well, I agree with you, Maura, and I knew you were from Jersey. That's why I said, "Where are you from?" Meaning, what part of New Jersey? Because you highlighted it, which I thought was really great. New Jersey has, you have northern New Jersey, and then you have the central part, and then you have the shore area, right? But you're spot on. It's pretty mild, and you get the 4 seasons, and you can go anywhere. I mean, I remember as a kid, my parents saying, "Let's drive down to Washington D.C." and it's like you could go anywhere. You could go to Massachusetts. You could go all over the place. I was 20 minutes from the city, or you could go to the shore. So you're spot on. And that's why I always said that it is kind of the best kept secret, because you can get anywhere. Whereas when you're in different places in rural parts of the United States, it's not so easy. You have to drive to an airport. You have to fly somewhere if you're really going to go and take a vacation somewhere else. And so, yeah, and the food, amazing. I mean, it just seems like Maura, tell me if this is correct. I've always said this, when all of our ancestors came over and landed in Ellis Island, right? And they came from different parts of the world. They brought their cuisine, they brought their rich culture with them. And because of that, it's became like a melting pot in Jersey, where you got anything and everything you wanted, from Jewish delis to the best Italian food to the best Asian Chinese food you could imagine. I mean, the German food was fantastic. Polish. I mean, it goes on and on and on. Wouldn't you agree, Maura?
Oh, and 100%. That's like the Polish delis. I'm half Polish. It's like that's. We have conversations about where you go get your kibasi, like who's got the best kibasi.
Right.
It's great. Great place to grow up.
Yeah. I remember the Greek restaurants. Oh, it's phenomenal. But you probably had that too, Jerry, where you grew up. Didn't you have a different, because you had sort of a melting pot too, being in the Pacific Northwest, right?
Yeah, but it's known for, salmon and, fish and seafood, stuff like that. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, that's fascinating. Wow, Maura, you are amazing. Thank you so much for, sometimes I brag about New Jersey and then I'll get the emails afterwards saying, there are other places to live besides New Jersey. So it's kind of nice that you affirmed that, Maura. So thank you.
Yeah. God bless you guys. Thank you so much. Love your show.
God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Marie, Rhonda, Matt, hang on. We're going to get to you three. Have a line open here. Where are you from? Tell us about it, what you love about it, what you miss about it. Maybe you don't miss it at all. 833-288-3986. Just want to take a moment to thank our sponsor for today, the New Jersey Chamber of Commerce. Happy to sponsor today's broadcast of Take Two with Jerry and Debbie.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Okay,
no, I love it, though. It's like people who talk about if they're, well, like you're 100% Sicilian, right?
Uh-huh.
And I'm sort of a mix of things, and I always wished I'm a little bit jealous of people who know that they're 100% this or that or the other thing, because then you have that ethnic pride and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel sort of lost in the world of
because
knowing.
you're a mixture of different nationalities. You're like Marty. Marty's the same way.
Oh yeah.
He's half Sicilian, and the rest is German and Irish, and
Wow.
yeah, he's a beautiful mix too. But the thing is I kind of like that, because I'm always saying, oh, can you put on your English accent for me? So I kind of so I think it's unique, and I love celebrating everybody else's heritage and culture. I think it's fascinating, don't you?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's one of the beautiful things about not only our country, but really probably any country around the world. You've always got feast days and holidays and, very much, I love it when those kinds of days come up,
Yeah.
St. Patrick's Day, for example,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, you like that because of the breweries.
Well, and the corned beef. I don't like the cabbage part of it, but I like the corned beef.
Oh, see, I like the cabbage. I'll eat the cabbage then because I like the cabbage part. Yeah, but corned beef is really good in New Jersey as well. Okay, so we have a phone line open for you. Share where you're from. Let's celebrate it together. This is that hometown pride. We love that. 833-288-3986. This is your show, Take Two, with Jerry and Debbie and you. Call us.
Hi, I'm Doug Keck, inviting you to join me for a special bookmark interview when I talk with author Mary Eberstadt about her new work, Adam and Eve After the Pill Revisited.
No matter how popular anti-Catholic teaching is or how unpopular Catholic teaching is, we need to look at the truth of the matter, and that's what I'm trying to do in this book.
That's Mary Eberstadt, next time, right here on Bookmark.
Saturdays at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, Sundays at 9:30 a.m. Eastern on EWTN Radio.
Call to Communion.
Masked Appeal.
EWTN Live.
Catholic Connection.
No one does Catholic radio like EWTN.
Psalm 1, verse 1 says, "Blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the ungodly, nor stand in the way of sinners, nor sit in the seat of scorners." What does that mean? Don't hang around with bad people? No. According to G.K. Chesterton, it means something much better than that. He says that there are certain people who, because they are really pure, create a good atmosphere around themselves. They are truly children of light, and that light shines on everything they touch. So it's not that hanging around bad people makes us bad. It's that being righteous can help make the people around us righteous too.
Spend more time with the Apostle of Common Sense. Visit chesterton.org for more information and go to EWTNRC.com to discover more books and programs written and inspired by G.K. Chesterton.
Hi, this is Janet Williams. You don't have to be a woman to enjoy Women of Grace tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern here on EWTN Radio. Now, back to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie.
We're all from somewhere, and we may be somewhere other than that place right now. So if you'd like to get on the broadcast and share where your hometown is, what you loved about it, maybe what you didn't like that much about it, 833-288-3986. And we're going to go back to the phones. I just want to mention real quickly that I said I couldn't wait to get out of my small little town that I grew up in on the Washington coast. That's not really an entirely fair way to put it. I loved living there. I loved growing up there. But there just isn't anything, no opportunities, I mean, I wanted to go into broadcasting, so I had to leave. So in a sense, I had that eagerness, that excitement to leave. It wasn't anything particularly bad about the area, but it was just I saw opportunity and I went for it.
You didn't have any radios in your town?
Yeah, we had radios, yeah.
Well, did you have any radio stations?
No.
For real?
No, the nearest one was like 30 miles away.
Oh, wow. So you had to move. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. You just made a really good comment. What didn't you like about the area where you grew up in? I can tell you something I didn't like. We didn't have a lot of fast food restaurants. We did not, and we did not have sidewalks. So we would walk right in the street. It was very dangerous. I don't know how we all lived and so that we can talk about it. So that's the two things. Like in Arizona, there's really wide streets, and I love that. So let's hear what Marie has to say. And she's from Arizona, Glendale, Arizona, on YouTube. We're waving to you, Marie.
Hi, Debbie. And thank you for taking my call. Actually, I'm very old, so I have three hometowns. I started off in the Bronx, New York, New York has the best culture in the world, the best shows. My mother had 7 sisters, and every Christmas they used to take us down to Radio City to see the shows and take us to all the Mama Leone's and the nice restaurants. I remember all the botanical gardens, and they have the best zoo. And after, I mean, I have memories there. I haven't been there in many years because they have nobody there. But then when I got married, I moved to North Jersey. And I lived there for most of my life, like 30-something years. And I had raised my family there. And I love New Jersey, too. But there was a lot there. I was very, it was really very nice. And the heartbreaking part of it is that we moved to Arizona, and then my son died a year later. But anyway, the only reason we moved is because my husband retired from his New York job, and he couldn't stand the winters in New Jersey. So we went all over looking for a place to live, and we landed in Arizona back in 1998. But to me, this is my home. Now, my husband passed away 5 years ago, and I've never been alone in my life, but I'm doing fine here because I got so many friends. I got my church, and I love Arizona. Even though we're croaking right now with the heat, I still love it here because we got air conditioning, and I got my pool. So I mean, that's. And they have a lot here going too. I mean, as I said, I live for my church. That's my second family. And thank God, thank you for praying for my priest. We had a priest from Nigeria, and we were having a lot of problems. But thank God, people don't like foreign priests that are black. But thank God that's falling into place. But I've been active in my church. I've been a sacristan and a Eucharistic minister for like 25 years, so that's my life right now. Even though I'm getting on there, I'll be 85 this year, so
wow.
That's my story.
Well, Marie, you sound great, and we're so sorry for the loss of your son and your husband. But Arizona is a great place to build your parish community because we're a very vibrant diocese of Phoenix. So you're very blessed in that area. So I'm sure you find that support, and you're ministering in the church, which is fantastic. But Marie, you sound really young. I love that about you. You haven't lost your New York accent. I think that's awesome. I love that. God bless you. I think it is so precious. And I just wanted to say too, you brought up the Bronx Zoo. I couldn't agree more. It is amazing. So many people think of New York City and they think they have a zoo. Yeah. The Bronx Zoo, a great, the culture. You are spot on, Marie.
That's ancient history because, as I said, I'm going to be 85 this year, so that was a long time ago that I went to the Bronx Zoo. Well, listen, keep me in your prayers because I am getting older, and pray for my family and my daughters. I'm still praying for my daughter to come back to church, but it hasn't happened yet. I listen to you every day, but this is not very often the live show because I'm always running to church or running here and there in the morning. So, but I listen to your show every day. And God bless you both for what you do.
Oh, thank you, Marie. We have our prayer book, as you know, Marie. If you're, you sounds like you're a regular listener. If you're comfortable and you want to give us your husband's first name and your son's first name, Debbie is prepared to write those in our prayer book along with you. We're going to put you in there as well.
Son of both Peter. My son is Peter John, and my son Peter, and my daughter is Lynn, and she needs your prayers too. Okay?
Sure.
We got it. We're on it, Marie. Yeah. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Yeah. Matt is up next in North Dakota, listening on Real Presence Radio. Welcome to Take Two, Matt.
Hi, guys. Yeah,
hey.
I'm from southwestern North Dakota, and I grew up near the Kilder Mountains. It's an interesting area. There is actually the Kilder Mountain battlefield that kind of kicked off the Indian Wars back in the 1860s, I think. So it's a while ago. But that eventually culminated then in Montana and the infamous Little Bighorn. So that all started by my hometown. And we can still go outside and find arrowheads and things like that. It's a really interesting place. We get the bad winters, of course, but we have really nice summers, too.
Mm-hmm. You do, actually. I have been not to either of the Dakotas in the winter, but I went to one of my brothers got married in the Twin Cities in Minnesota. It was a February wedding, and I wasn't really thinking about what I was doing, so I put on just some sweat bottoms and a T-shirt. And as I got off the plane, you know how in the jetway you can start to feel the temperature that's outside, and especially when we got outside, it hurt just to breathe, Matt. I mean, taking in a breath was almost hurt to do that. So how do you must be, people from there probably are pretty used to it, and you guys might even enjoy that kind of winter weather. Is that fair to say?
Well, I don't mind it. A lot of people don't mind it. I mean, Minnesota's bad, but we're even worse, if you can believe that. We get the cold and the wind, but it makes you appreciate the nice weather when it's here. We go a quick spring right into summer and then a quick fall back into winter. But personally, I wouldn't live anywhere else.
You wouldn't, huh? Wow.
As I've thought about places where just sort of, just thinking in my head, not that I necessarily would go to these places, but I always try and think of places where it would be neat to live. And I would think North Dakota is, as you said, Matt, very beautiful, very family friendly, very much, beautiful, beautiful folks who live in North Dakota.
And not overly crowded, right, Matt?
No, not really. There's Fargo, Bismarck, those places are growing, but the rural areas, they're staying rural.
They are. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I've always been drawn to the Dakotas as well. A dear friend of mine who I've been friends with for 30 years, she was born and raised in I believe, South Dakota. And I will tell you, I've always been drawn to it too, Jerry. So it sounds like you've traveled around, Matt, but you're going to stay home.
Yeah, places are nice to visit, but to live, there's really no replacement for North Dakota. Really, the upper Midwest, it's a lot of the same kind of culture, the same small town attitude, and it's very nice.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, great, Matt. Thanks for your patience there on the line and for joining us here on the program. We appreciate it, talking about Where Are You From on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie today at 833-288-3986.
Okay, so I crack up because, Matt sharing about North Dakota, you do realize that people are going to start booking their vacations for North Dakota. It's a big joke out here in Arizona. We try not to talk about how great Arizona is because we don't want anybody else visiting and staying here. So we always downplay it. The scorpions, the rattlesnakes, and then people don't want to come to Arizona. Do you ever do that? That's kind of like what San Diego folks do.
You wouldn't want to live here. No,
yeah, you wouldn't want to live here. Yeah. Okay, so we do have full phone lines plus, and then you weighing in on social media and emailing us. And the email is take2@ewtn.com. Jer?
Okay, let's go back to the calls. Rhonda has also been waiting patiently. First-time caller in Missouri today. Hi, Rhonda.
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome.
I'm from Tennessee originally, and really proud of my home state. My hometown is Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. It's about 70 miles south of Nashville, and it's the home of Fred Thompson, the senator and the movie star, and it's also home to Alvin York. And Lawrenceburg has Davy Crockett State Park, and all of my family's still there, and so I get to go back quite frequently. But it's just a beautiful, beautiful town.
Wow!
But
Rhonda,
you
live in. Wait,
can
I just ask real quickly?
Yeah,
but you live in Missouri now, correct?
I do. You have to go where the jobs are, and my husband was a professor, and so we went by way of Auburn, Alabama, Shawnee, Oklahoma, now here in Warrensburg, Missouri. So we hope to go back home pretty soon.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay, sorry, Jerry. I just wanted to see where Rhonda was.
Yeah, no, I was
going
to say, being in California, a lot of people are leaving this state, Rhonda, and I know several people from my own parish who have chosen Tennessee as a place to move to. It must be. What would you think it is? I mean, it's got to be the beauty, but I would guess it's probably the political climate, not just the weather climate, but political, social, cultural. It sounds like it really is attracting a lot of people.
Personally, it's the friendly people. Everybody is just so inviting and friendly, and we're like, come on down. We want people to come, and it's got really good produce. Grew up on white beans and potatoes and that kind of thing, fresh tomatoes, and
nice.
It's just gorgeous. So
beautiful. Wow.
And isn't Tennessee, that's kind of centrally located where you can get to other states and just a drive and stuff like that. So that kind of shares that access, which is really, I think, attractive for people. Like you're not so far away that you have to always take a plane to go to other places. Right, Rhonda?
That's true. That's true because we're right in the center of the state. So 3 hours west, we go to Memphis, and 3 hours east, Chattanooga, and Nashville's just got so much, and Franklin, right outside of Nashville, has really grown. It's just such a popular place right now. A lot of people are moving there.
Yeah, that's where my cousin lives, and actually, I've heard that a lot of retirees are moving to Tennessee. It's a big it's drawing in the retirement community, the seniors, and I think that's wonderful because it seems like a very mild climate, right?
It is. It's similar to Missouri, but it's close enough to Florida, and to go to the beach, and that's what everybody does, or a lot of people do for their getaway, and so it's not so far. And you're right; it's really a good location to travel.
Mm-hmm. Wow, I love
Beautiful.
it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you, Rhonda, for being a first-time caller. You'll never be a first-time caller again, but we hope you will be a caller again to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. Got a lot of social media. I want to get to a couple of those, but want to mention, first of all, about EWTN's Family Celebration. If you're coming to Birmingham for this free event, you may want to stay a little bit longer. It's happening Friday, August 25th in Birmingham. There's a lot to see and do, including the amazing botanical gardens, the Barber Village Motor Sports Museum, craft breweries, the Birmingham Zoo, speaking of zoos, sporting events, and so much more. If you want to be a part of the EWTN Family Celebration August 25th and maybe make a few-day vacation out of it, go to EWTN.com/family celebration to find out more and to register.
Okay, Sherilyn is up next. First-time caller from San Antonio, Texas on the EWTN app. We love San Antonio, Sherilyn, because we did our Stand Tall retreat there, so take it away.
Okay, this is on Heritage. I'm from a very small German Catholic community in North Texas. That's a dairy community called Windthorst. And it's all country people, dairy community. So I went back there this last weekend for my 55th class reunion and was with all the kids from first grade to 12th grade in my class. There's only 28 of us. Four have died since, but it's a very good community. German food, sausage, sauerkraut, that kind of thing. Windthorst is a small town with a church on top of the hill. So you go straight up to 81. You'll meet it. But I left there in 1970. Went to college, stayed here in San Antonio, and married. Have friends. It's a very good. It's a good community too. But I just wanted to let you know that there's really small towns out here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like the town I grew up in. Sherilyn, if you heard me say earlier on the show, it was a town of about 500, and I had about 35 people in my high school graduating class. And so when we have class reunions, we have to have all class reunions, no matter what year you graduated.
Oh, wow.
It's come one, come all, because that's the only way to make it worth the effort, the time, the expense, and all of that goes into it. But, Sherilyn, there's something beautiful about being in a town like that. Pretty much everybody's looking out for each other, and you said it's a dairy community.
Mm-hmm.
That just sounds really neat, like a neat place to have grown up.
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree. And I love how you speak about it. You can hear it in your voice that you're very attached to the community that you grew up in. I have to ask you this question because I'm all about food. Do you have a really good German delis? Because we lost our German deli here in Arizona, and I miss it terribly. Did you have good food?
They have good food all the time, but there are some stores that sell German food there, so our German the sausages and things. So it's good. But my town is about 350. So,
oh wow!
Oh wow! Okay. Wow, that's nice. That's family. That's real family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love that. Thank you so much for calling in. You're a first-time caller, so you won't be a first-time caller anymore. So call us again, please. We love hearing from the Take Two family on a regular basis. We can go really fast. Maybe just give everybody like 30 seconds to tell where they're from and like a shout out.
Yeah, maybe a couple social media comments
Great.
right before that.
Perfect.
Because there's one I especially want to get to.
Okay.
Lisa Marie is watching the video stream on YouTube, and we're also on Facebook. Lisa Marie says, born, raised, and never left Belmar, New Jersey. I live a block from the beach in Monmouth City, the beautiful Jersey Shore. And she says, Debbie and Jerry, come visit. I'll treat you to authentic Italian and a Carvel flying saucer. My son was married last year on the same spot, St. Rose Church, where my parents wed, where he was baptized, where all family members attended Mass for decades. So blessed. God bless the Take Two family. So there you go, Debbie. We got an invitation. You have a chance to get back to New Jersey.
Oh, I'm
and
totally.
Get some of that authentic Italian food.
Yes, Lisa Marie, I'm totally taking you up on that invitation for sure. Definitely, you got me with the authentic Italian and Carvel ice cream. Absolutely, Jerry. We did get a dinner invitation. We finally got a dinner invitation.
One other one here, quick. Amanda on Facebook. I'm from Lake Charles, Louisiana, and I still live here. And though it's always so hot and humid, and though we have no pretty landscapes and horrific bad weather at times like hurricanes, I absolutely wouldn't live anywhere else. I wanted to move to a big city when I was younger, and I'm so blessed that always fell through. We are a small community that's conservative and Christian, and people take care of people around here.
Wow.
Sounds like Sherilyn's town, too.
I love it. And I'm catching everybody that's sending in messages from Jersey. It seems like we have a big listenership from New Jersey. I love that. You guys are awesome. Thanks. This is wonderful. You're making me want to get a plane and head back to Jersey. Okay, let's hear what Cheryl has to say. Cheryl's been waiting so patiently in Toronto, Ontario, Canada on Sirius XM 130. Hi, Cheryl.
Hi, I'm in my car, so I'm just going to pull over.
Oh, good.
I'm born and raised in Toronto. Love it. It's the best city in the world. Sorry, guys, but we also love you guys coming up. We've got Niagara Falls that you guys love. We've got Horseshoe Falls. We're border to Buffalo there. And what else can I say? We are the Mary Pickford. It was her hometown. One of the movie icons way back in the 20s. Banting went to U of T, my alma mater. He created insulin. We the North, as we call it. We're great with the Raptors. We did win that one time. You guys didn't like it, but we did win the cup that one year. And we've got the Toronto Maple Leafs that come all the way back and forth across the border. And what else? What else can I say? Yeah, the Jays, the Blue Jays, they're a popular crowd too. Right now our girls are playing soccer and, the International World Soccer right now, and a lot of them are from the Toronto area. And, of course, we've got TIFF, which is every September. A lot of the movie stars come up to Toronto, and they have the big film festival, and they broadcast their upcoming movies, and they do a lot of entertaining and screening, and you can go down to Yorkville, which is a real hubbub of a place, lots of entertainment and movie stars. You can stargaze down there. Wow. And, of course, the Muskokas, just north of Toronto, where Goldie Hawn has a beautiful estate-type property that she would go up in the summer, and she's right on the Lake Rosso. The Muskokas, very popular. We just we have 4 seasons like New Jersey, so we do get a change of weather. Right now it's hot as heck, but I'm not going to complain.
Well, Cheryl, real quickly, you won't get an argument from us because Niagara Falls, we totally agree, it's spectacular. And for those that haven't been there, I don't know why you haven't gone to visit because it's amazing. But Jerry and I were there, and you're absolutely spot on. The U.S. side of Niagara Falls is pretty, but when you get over to the Canada side and you look at Niagara Falls, it's spectacular. I mean, you can't even describe it. So you're spot on. You're not going to get an argument from us. It is glorious, Cheryl.
If you can get on the Maid of the Mist, you go right under the falls, and you get that spray coming back at you, and you just it's really quite beautiful, and they light it up, in the winter time, so you can see the falls with the light.
Yeah,
and every person that would come through, all our relatives, because Toronto is a melting pot, right? We're very multicultural, and whenever our relatives would come, the first place my dad would take them was, to Niagara Falls.
Yeah, it's understandable why. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right,
Everybody
Cheryl, thank
should
you.
go there.
Yeah, if you get a chance, because it's on both sides of the border, I believe. There's. Okay, we're going to try to get to several more of you, time permitting, running out of it shortly here. Carol is in Northwest New Jersey, listening on Sirius XM 130. Hello, Carol, another New Jersey caller. How are you?
Well, hello. I'm great. I hope everyone is great there, too.
Mm-hmm.
I live in Northwest now, but I grew up in West Caldwell.
Wow.
And it was just the most wonderful town to grow up in that I could imagine. We could walk up the street, which was like a half a mile, 3/4 of a mile, and go into the, quote, town, unquote. We went to the movies every weekend, and it was very, very safe. Mm-hmm. And I just loved it. From there, I got married. We moved to Morristown, which we loved the history, of course, because Washington wintered in Morristown for 2 different winters, and it was considered to be one of them the worst winter ever. In fact, there was a mutiny because on Christmas Day, the soldiers did not get their rum, of all things. And now I live in Long Valley, which I loved. It's a lot of farms and things. And since I've moved here, I am a brand new Catholic and love going to church and love my pastor. But I think what I love the most about the area is that it's a melting pot. I mean, where else can you go and have all of these different cultures? And I know Debbie talked about the food, but more than that, I worked at one place where I got to meet people from almost all over the world and learn about them and their families. And, it's just so wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Couldn't agree more. I went to James Caldwell High School, Carol, and we used to go into the town to Friendlies. Remember Friendlies? And everybody would hang out there and go to the movies. And you're right. It was safe. People, really talked to each other, got to know each other, and watched out for each other. So God bless you, Carol. So beautiful. Thank you for taking me back down to memory lane. Yeah. It really was a great place to grow up. It really was.
Yeah, this has been a great show. Take Two Family, you always make it so, and we thank you for that. We aren't going to get to those of you. Got Christina and Esperanza and Michelle and Francesca. I hope I said that right. On the line, we have an Unscripted coming up on Monday, and so if you want to call back then, Unscripted is when we don't bring a topic. You bring whatever you want to talk about. So if you didn't get on today's broadcast here, you can always call on Unscripted on Monday and share where you are from.
Mm-hmm. I love Unscripted because of that. You never know what everybody's going to bring to the table, which is wonderful. It makes it a very popular show. But tomorrow we're going to be asking the question, what is your favorite novena and why? We need to know these different devotions and how it has worked out for you from a spiritual perspective. So please weigh in tomorrow with your favorite novena. And until then, have a beautiful and blessed day. We ask Saint Joseph, please pray for all of us.